Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We have ShaDoWn in the top left going up against Rogue in the bottom right of Goldenaura. This is again the ESL 2024 Spring Open Bracket. So these players did not qualify directly, they flew out to play here for a chance at getting deep into the tournament, even though they did not qualify in the first place. And, well, Rogue, of course, Artosis is God, or a GOAT, sorry. Going for a 16 hatch here, recently returning from the military. So I think it's fair to say that he's kind of like a classic or stats, where they're kind of like, well, we're getting back into shape, alright, but, or we're young, yeah. But we're not, like, quite there. Or the classic class is permanent, form is temporary, and their form might not be 100%, but, I mean, especially Rogue, high-tier tournament winning class player, going up here against ShaDoWn, one of the Protoss players from EU that I like watching. He's a Frenchie, rather young, still, getting his wings under him. Is that a thing people say? But we saw him play a lot against Mixu in like home server cups and stuff in previous casts. And I think in a game versus Bly he really impressed me, and ever since I've always been keen on showing a ShaDoWn game. We see a Rogue mining that gas, going for speed. Let's see how much he's going to pull out of gas. I think Mixu, the person I just mentioned, he is actually doing very well in other RTS games, like some betas or alphas even. You know, we've seen him do pretty well in Stormgate and Zero Space as well. Although, I mean, Stormgate is just a glorified alpha at this point. But still, skill is skill. I think he's also in this group. This is Group B. So I don't know if they met. I think they did. But it was a... I don't think we're going to cover it. So Rogue pulled out of gas completely. So he's not mining any extra gas. Not thinking about a super fast +1. Not thinking about a relatively early lair. Not even thinking about roaches or anything else. He's just playing super economically focused. So not really going for gas timing. Oracle coming out from ShaDoWn. Standard. Getting that Stargate up. I was about to say, we're going to see this gateway go down. Before speed finishes up, speed is usually like 345 or 330 at like the earliest probably. So this is a little early, but maybe he wants an earlier gateway to make some more units. And I kind of like the era where we left one drone in gas, because it just times out really nicely if you want to get a lair at a certain moment, or a +1 upgrade at a certain moment, or even a carapace upgrade at a certain moment. Because you just have to wait until you have that 100 gas, and then you just, boom, just start it. Let's see, how many oracles is he willing to commit to? Ooh, a third oracle is actually coming out, so ShaDoWn showing 3 oracle and a third base. Makes me believe that the Forge and the Twilight are up and coming. And that he's just going to play the super standard style. We have a Spore here for Rogue. How many did he commit to? 3 in total. And 2 base, or no, yeah, 2 queens per base at least. So, Rogue just defending here. It's a decent drone count. Only 4 lings, so he's just made queens, drones, and a couple spores. Does have speed and our Roachborn in front. Don't see an Evo yet. We do see a second gas coming up. And what is ShaDoWn thinking about? He does have this Forge, but no Twilight, and instead we get a Robo. Okay. So a Robo could indicate more of a Immortal timing. Shuba already going down at the third base, so ShaDoWn kind of making sure that he doesn't get... Oh, actually ShaDoWn was saving up adepts. I didn't catch that. And does an assault with the oracles and now the adepts. Adepts get into the main base. We've already seen 3 drones go down, and these drones have to run. Lots of lings being produced, and they do not have +1. No recall coming out for these adepts. So they will be spawning here in the natural. Actually get a hit on the queen. That sucks. If they'd shaded a little deeper, they would have gotten a couple extra shots on the drones. 9 more drones underway. The oracles did stay alive. And in the end, we have 4 drones going down for 7 adepts. I don't think it's controversial to say that that feels a little bit wasteful. You did get a good round of lings in before Rogue wanted to make units. But is it enough? See Hydra coming down, 8 more drones. 6 gas is now up and running for Rogue. Just going Ling Hydra with 1 Evo chamber. Oh, he's also getting Roach speed. Okay, so is it going to be Roach Hydra? Something Scarlet showed on this map as well versus Straya. Okay, a couple gates going down here. Helmet. 6 gateways underway here. We already have 4 gateways, so that's 10 gate. Charge lot +1 and a Templar Archives. I feel like ShaDoWn is trying to hit a pretty crisp timing here. I would be surprised if he tries and gets a 4th base up, but he does. Just wants to have enough gateways. And I guess that's pretty good. If you don't have to make units, you can just make gateways so that you can make more units at a time. And he's staying at a pretty low unit count right now. 2 Stalkers, 7 Zealots. So 1 round of Zealots. Making sure he stays alive. We get the High Templar, no Storm, just Archon. So Archon charge lot. Do not have any Immortals. 0 Immortals. Did he see... Oh, what the hell? No, we did not see any of the tech. Did see the Roach Worm, but still no Immortals. We have an Infestation Pit, so we might see a pretty fast, snappy transition into an Hive, so you can get Vipers. But ShaDoWn pulling the trigger here. But he does get +2 charge, barely not complete yet. Kind of anti-timing for himself. Now charge is done, but he already kind of revealed the fact that he was attacking. Maybe he thought he chrono boosted it when he didn't. And the 3 Archons doing good damage here, but one of them is stuck behind the other 2. Oh, no way. That sucks, but a lot more charge slots coming in. Trading here with Rogue's army. Rogue does not have +1 range yet. Good timing for ShaDoWn to fight, but now +1 range does finish up. And these Hydras are going to be dishing out a lot of damage here. And can ShaDoWn deal with the follow-up attack if one comes? This Prism is taking away Rogue from his potential counterattack. Now, ShaDoWn gets time to get up to Storm. He's making more High Templar. How many does he have? 6 right now. Maybe he makes a couple into Archons, but... Oh, there's a Changeling. Rogue sees that, but... Oh, Rogue deciding not to go for the attack. 1 Zealot does get a drone kill. Good job. 4 Ire. Lurker then coming down with the Hive, so we're going to see Lurkers with range here. With +2 range. Rogue now up to 4 bases, taking a 5th. But ShaDoWn is doing the same, taking a 5th as well. Some Roaches coming out. Clearing the rocks for future attacks. This is kind of neat. Might force a couple Warpins from ShaDoWn. That, sure, they're strong units, but might not be the units he wants to max out on. Might bait out a couple Storms. Maybe even ShaDoWn morphs his units into Archons. Those are things that can happen, right? Like, if you attack and the Protoss is like halfway past Storm and he has like 4 Templar, he might just morph them into Archon if he thinks he needs them. We see a Robobay and a Fleet Beacon coming out. So, and even +1 air attack. So ShaDoWn already thinking about the carriers, and he's going to be seeing these Lurkers right now. Little Zealot run by in the 3rd base, but not a big amount of drone losses. 8 drones. Oh, these Zealots actually. Oh no, they're Circlings. Barely didn't see them, but There are some Zerglings, Adrenal Glands underway. Storm's going down here. ShaDoWn, look at the army supply. He's kind of getting chased back here. Oh, that's a weird storm. That might have been a misclick. Oh, you could get some juicy storms here, but you're out of storms. No, he's not. But now the lurkers are present. Oh no, ShaDoWn. This is a very uncomfortable position. Does get a decent storm, but Rogue doing a good job baiting out some storms. I feel like Rogue has gotten the better end of this. And Rogue actually reburrowing into a nuclear battery. That's very ballsy. Not a lot of people would attempt that, but good lurker spikes going down onto the entire army of ShaDoWn. And just nothing is left. Standing here. One more storm does come down. The mortal trickles in. More charge slots, but the lurkers are still there. They are revealed, but they are not dead. And these are roaches versus one immortal. But there is an amount of roaches that does beat an immortal. It's true. Don't tell the Zergs. But it's actually true. And, I mean, Rogue is kind of running away with it. We do see a mothership coming out. And more immortals are present. He has a double robo after all. These lurkers, nice shift clicks out of ShaDoWn here, but doesn't want to stand and fight. Gets away from the last lurker. The roaches dive on in. Get another immortal snipe. So 2 immortals going down. These immortals are pretty important to kill the lurkers in a timely fashion. And 0 carriers have been produced so far. No additional Stargates have been added. We do have a mothership core somewhere. Or, yeah, there it is. Mothership. Not a core, but still. The mothership is online. Oh, some immortal juggling. Very nice. Time warp goes down, so these roaches can't go deeper, or at least they shouldn't want to. Now we get the cloak. And the roaches now try to run away. 3 High Templar auto-attacking. 4 of them even. And so ShaDoWn does get decent trades. Look at this Immortals getting some kills. Now we have an Overseer, but yeah, there's no Overseer energy to feed back and no anti-air except for the mothership, and she's not even targeting the Overseer correctly. All of the High Templar go down. They don't get picked up by the War Prism in time, and I think Rogue here has overpowered ShaDoWn and takes a pretty convincing, clean game number 1. But ShaDoWn is showing some life. He had a pretty cool idea. He had that Adept trick up his sleeve that didn't quite do the amount of damage that you wanted to. And after that, he had a pretty cool timing attack. And then he went back to his 4th base, got stormed pretty early, but then I feel like he got caught out in the map twice. Like the first time he moved out a little bit too early before charge into a choke as well with Zealots. And then after that, he kind of got caught in the middle, had to throw storms out on like 3, 4 Hydras, even Roaches. And then when finally the army of Rogue bunched up on the ramp, no more storms. So very good play by Rogue. Just lots of Roach Hydra, good splits, and overpowering ShaDoWn with a couple lurkers in the backbone, or as backbone. And here we are for game number 2. We have ShaDoWn going up against Rogue. Rogue taking a pretty convincing win. Mechanic, beast mode. He was just playing solid. Relying on just fundamentals, as the FGC calls them. And for game 2, we are here on Alcyone, or Alcyone, whatever you want to call it. Rogue's natural getting blocked. We'll put a 17 hatch on his 3rd base location, or the most preferred 3rd base location. And ShaDoWn is getting a low ground wall here. It's a little more awkward on this map because there's no ramp. So Ravager attacks are a little bit more spooky. But ShaDoWn is getting a good scout here, knows what's going on. And, I mean, it's EVP, so we kind of have to wait until deviations start happening. As always, oh, can you scout that? Oh, you can scout that from the high ground? Those little trixies, same as Oceanborn. Gotta know. Oh, I actually... okay. I knew that this main worked, but for some reason my brain was like, I mean, it is mirrored, but is it? So let's see what Rogue does with his gases, and let's see what type of tech ShaDoWn is thinking about. Is he going for another starport? Stargate? I would like to see his same build, actually. Because I think it's just way stronger on this map when you displace the natural. As I say time and time again, it's just ripe for abuse. And ShaDoWn agrees, and he goes for an instant Twilight console. So this could be some Resonating Glaives 1-2 punch. Or even an instant knockout punch. Schrodinger's Adept going out onto the map. Nope, he stays at home, and a little Ling is trying to get in. I like that ShaDoWn keeps this at home because he doesn't want his Twilight console scouted. This Adept actually didn't get the second shot. Needs to use the shade for that. And then, is he going for Schrodinger's trick again? No, he's not. I like that he's rallying out, so Rogue really has to pay attention to see that. If you look at Rogue's vision, like, he has this bit to see the Adept walking away from the gate. If you don't see it, then you might assume that there's one less Adept. I mean, of course you see it running the gateway all the time, so you can kind of assume continuous production. Resonating Glaives is underway. Let's see if we see a Robo, or if a Proby builds a gateway somewhere, or if he just goes for a flood from his main base. I guess you could, but third base now going down. 3 Adepts is not the weirdest thing, but any more than that, you start wondering as the Zerg player, like, what is this guy doing? I haven't seen an Oracle yet. The spores are going up, or at least one of them has gone up. The natural hasn't been saturated yet because the amount of queens isn't high enough yet. We see a drone mining at the side. I like that a lot. So no proxy pylon plus gateway for ShaDoWn. Resonating Glaives is almost done. How many gateways are there? 3 gates only. So he is moving out with a reasonable amount of Adepts. Basically the same amount as last game. 7 Adepts. But now they have Glaives. And they're probably a little earlier, huh? Now the Glaive Adepts move on in. Oh, that would have been a nice position, but not the best position here for ShaDoWn, but still. These are Glaive Adepts, so they will trade decently with the Lings, actually targeting the drones. Good job. And, I mean, Rogue, just ready for that. 7 Adepts for 6 drones this time around, and 13 Lings. So I would definitely say that this was a better trade. And this looks solid. I don't know if Rogue can do anything. I mean, it could kill the shield battery, but it would cost him. And he's probably not getting in here either. A bunch of Adepts already here. Nice shading back and then going out to fight so he can shade back before really losing any of that army. We see some Ravagers being built in the main of Rogue. So he's looking to attack here. 35 drones out of Rogue. He's like, Glaive Adepts suck. I'm gonna kill this guy before he gets any other tech. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Rogue's pulling the trigger here, and that is a good skill to have. Just being able to sometimes just go for it, you know? Just go for it. Maybe he's planning this, maybe this is reactionary, but there is a lot of Zerglings here. And Ravagers as well, and Ravager Ling attacks. Always potent. Here come the Lings, but Lings do not really like fighting against these Adepts unless they are in very high numbers, the Zerglings. The Ravagers not getting any kills on relevant buildings here. Maybe some mis-targeting by Rogue here, because he does have 6 Ravagers. He could one-shot this. He could but that is also ShaDoWn's planning coming in here. Look at the buildings. They are spread out. There's no double kill to be gained here. And now 2 Immortals are here. these Adepts tanking up and killing a lot of Zerglings, and these Immortals just wailing down on the Zerglings and the Ravagers. 5 Ravagers remaining. This Immortal has a real appetite for Ravagers, and well, one cannon went down. No other shield batteries. Oh! An Observer and a Stalker went down, and now a big recall. Oh my god, ShaDoWn overstepping a little bit there. Does get a big part of his army surrounded, and another Immortal came out of the natural, gets surrounded, and now will get biled down. And Rogue showing some signs of life here, going up against ShaDoWn, and is droning behind it. Rogue! What the? Oh my god, more Immortals are streaming on out. The gate gets built and instantaneously cancelled, and Rogue actually behind this, just aggressively droning up, seeing the amount of drones that ShaDoWn has, and doesn't think that he can break him. Now goes back for an Evo Chamber, some Roach Speed, a Lair finished up. So this Hatch Tech attack was thwarted by ShaDoWn, but Rogue might be able to make a game out of it. 4th base for ShaDoWn instantly down. I love that. How is the Zerg going to punish that? The only thing it can do is make more of the same units, and Protoss units just become better and better and better against Zergling Ravager over time. But I mean, ShaDoWn just calmly putting his buildings 1 hex apart, making sure that he could even, if he wanted to, put units in between them, although then you give Rogue a good place to put his biles. But still, he just made sure that no more than 1 building at a time could die. Summoning some Rogue, do find the 4th base, kill 1 shield battery. But that is about it. A 4th base for Rogue is now coming down. He's still trying to drone up and overtake ShaDoWn, but ShaDoWn is not having it. 71 probes, getting +2, getting a Templar Archives, still making those Immortals. We only have 2 here, so Rogue did a good job of trading those off at least. Oh, this Adept. That's nasty. In the fog, even. Look at all of these Lings just derping out, dude. They're derping. Holy moly. That is... Okay. That's a cool trick. Do that on the ladder. If you have a strong Adepty boy. Look at him, her. It's kind of like a spotlight thing. Kind of looks like a Japanese idol on this little doodad. Now we have a little bit of a lull here where ShaDoWn just turtling up, getting the cannons, getting more shield batteries, and lots of High Templar. Going for Storm once again, getting +3 and more Immortals. 4 Immortals now on deck. Look at this, just cannons, shield batteries. Like, ShaDoWn is digging in. He feels like he's winning right now. And Rogue, 69 workers. Nice. Getting an infestation pit here. So he might actually go up to Hive Tech. I don't think you ever make Swarm Host here. Since... I mean, this map just isn't that great for it. Plus, it's just so late. I don't think we're gonna see any Swarm Host unless this game goes into the supreme late or super late game or even the end game. We're calling it the super late game, guys. The supreme late game should not be a thing. It's not real. Can't hurt you. Warpism doesn't get that much done. Double upgrades going for Rogue, so he is trying to catch up here. He has a Baneling Nest as well. Does he have Baneling Speed? He does. So 22 Banes. Rogue does have an army that is ready to attack, but also 72 workers, so he could potentially transition. But he's kind of in the middle of things. He's like, do I need to attack against any type of ShaDoWn tomfoolery, or can I just aggressively tech up and expand my economy? We can blink here for ShaDoWn. How many gates is this man up to? 11 gateways right now. And getting the gold. So ShaDoWn taking this one so... I wouldn't say slowly, because he is not max yet, but patient, calm, cool, collected. Like, the only way I lose is if this guy gets a good fight on me with all his tier 1, tier 1.5. Maybe we could call them tier 2 units. Whereas I have almost +3. I have Storm. I have Immortals and Archons. All I need is to max out, and I will end this guy's career, or at least his game. Too bad the Adept did get killed in the end. Adepts? Ooh. Dude, this is the coolest about the Resonating Glaives. That you can kind of use them for run-bys, and if you, like, put them in between the minerals, they can trade pretty well with Zerglings. And that makes the Zerg pool Roaches, or Hydras, or even Banelings, or Ravagers, like different units than just pure Zergling to deal with them. Now ShaDoWn, 190 supply, pretty big army. He's looking to fight. How many Templar do we have? We have 5 Templar, chock full of Storms. And we have a decent amount of Banelings here. 50 Banelings on the map. And the Banes do try to roll in here onto the Banes, or onto the Archons and the Immortals, but look at that. The High Templar are gone, but we have 4 Archons, 5 Archons, and a bunch of Immortals. 5 Immortals and 4 Archons, 5 Archons, and a bunch of Linkstalkers to reinforce. Against what? Roach Ravager with some Banes? I mean, the upgrades are okay, but +3 is no joke. And oh no, more High Templar, full, chuck full of energy, probably from the 4th and the 3rd that were meant to be defensive, now pulled into the offense. And look at that, the Storms go down. Rogue is even choked up between his hatch and this top area, so these Stalkers will have an easier time repositioning, and this giant arc of ShaDoWn, just Protoss units. And the Blunk ShaDoWn calling Rogue out like, nope, dude, I'm winning. And yes, he did win. The Immortals, 15-10, 15 and 11 kills. My man, 16 kill Archon as well. ShaDoWn taking it down. So Resonating Glaive abusing the fact that the bases were a little bit disjointed for Rogue. And then Rogue actually did an attack that ShaDoWn did very well at holding off, which is, I think, one of his strengths, is holding off bullshittery. And then he just played calm. He built up his army, got more ahead, almost maxed out, and then he pulled the trigger and punched his ticket to game number 3. And here we are in game number 3 in Oceanborn. ShaDoWn managing to take a game off Artosis GOAT candidate, Rogue. Okay, I'll stop mentioning that. The joke's getting old real quick, huh? ShaDoWn doing an Earth Scout again in Rogue doesn't really matter, or doesn't really mind. It just takes us 3rd base. And this means we're probably going into a pretty similar opener as the previous 2 games, until either ShaDoWn or Rogue decides to deviate, throw a wrench in the works. So before we get to that point, yeah, you know what's coming. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you maybe leave a like on the video, and maybe even a comment. Let me know if there's any other open bracket games that you would like to see, because I'm planning on doing a bunch of them. Yep, nothing different here. Again, Nexus, then Core. I mean, what is this probe doing? Maybe he sent it over to make a core, and then he was like, oh, I already have a probe there. This probe is still alive, running around, doing the scouting. And Rogue just doing normal Zerg stuff. Getting his hatch up, getting his pool up, mining the gas. And this has now been reduced down to a best of 1, because both players have already won a map. And what do you do in this situation? If you're Protoss, it's a pretty comfortable map to take a 3rd on. Perhaps go for super fast Stargate play. Maybe think about carriers. We do see a Stargate from ShaDoWn. could start with the Void Ray or go Oracle into Void Ray and kind of do like a carrier rush that Estrella has been privy to. I don't like playing against it, but I think it's okay on this map. But I still want to see a little bit of pressure coming out because of the disjointed bases. It's not as bad on this map, but you still want to like get 2 adepts in between this mineral and the gas, or over there. Get an Oracle just flying around, trying to pick off a couple drones, because it's just slightly easier when those bases are disjointed. And he's starting up an Oracle, so I like that. Oh, Schrodinger's Adept actually went across the map this time, so this Zergling does get a couple hits. Oh, the probe doesn't get A moved. The Adepts are now in the main, and only 2 Lings and a Queen, so they do get 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, kill 2 Lings, kill a drone, kill another drone, and the Shade goes out, and they actually both survive. So we see 2 drones and 3 Lings go down, but this is a decent swell of Lings. Oh, ShaDoWn actually turns around, but probably only wanted to turn around with 1 of his Adepts. One of them does go down, and now the gate goes down, so it's a little late, actually. So I don't know if he can get the 3rd down now. Now the door is open. ShaDoWn! Palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti! He messed up, dude. He has no Adepts. He is not allowed to take a 3rd right now. And now this Oracle has to turn on its beam to defend. Second Oracle's luckily is here, but that means no aggressive potential coming out of these Oracles at all anymore, because these 5 Lings will force a beam. And that is, I think it costs a bunch of energy to just turn it on. I think it's like 20 energy. I don't know, I don't play Protoss, guys. I just turn on the beam and kill stuff. Now, this 1 Stalker does make sure that no Banelings can come along, but Rogue has +1 melee coming up here. And we see a normal transition coming out of ShaDoWn here. Twilight and Forge behind the 3 Oracles. And I hope we're going to see a Blink Stalker push. Oh, actually a recall. I don't know, I feel like a Stalker can deal with 3 half-health Lings, no? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm completely wrong and the Stalker just attacks way too slowly. More Lings trickling across the map here. Could catch that Stalker and it will die because there's no second recall. Poor Stalker. Oh, Oracle Beam gets turned on. Saves the Stalker. Saving Private Stalker. Might be called Ryan. You don't know. I don't know if Protoss even use names that way. I mean, I guess we do. Zeratul, Artanis, whatever. They just kind of have a first name, just like us. But I don't know if they have a second name or whatever. They kind of sound more tribalistic. Kind of like Zeratul of the Nerazim or whatever. You know, you would just tell what tribe you are from. More Stalkers coming out. We see Blink, but I feel like we've already lost a couple Stalkers. 2 Stalkers. And now we have a little move out from ShaDoWn that is completely fake, but I love that he's doing it. Because this 20 more Lings are coming out. I don't know if that was Rogue's plan, but it's definitely nice. But we don't have the recall. So if these Lings come out, these... what the hell? No, they're shift-clicked onto the Overlords. Oh, you poor bastard. These poor Stalker bastards. The Lings in the 3rd base. Just distracting him a lot. 10 drones have gone down this game. And I don't know why the thing isn't popping up, but... that was bad. Yeah. I mean, +1 Zerglings. If you click on it, you know there's going to be a flood at some point. And we see Storm again, so ShaDoWn. Horny for the Storms. And look at these Lings just doing a lot of damage. Stalker blinks back. New one gets warped in. Nice play there at the wall. Keeps the Zerglings out. And 64 Lings have been killed. No more probes have been killed. So this is decent trades for ShaDoWn, I feel like. But 9 Stalkers in total have gone down. And Stalkers are units that you just want to, like, you want a critical mass. ASAP. As the cool kids say. And now Rogue. Bringing his Roaches and Ravagers to the front once again. 55 probes, or drones, to 69 probes. Nice. And the Queens are here. Not quite the German taxi, but it's like a, I don't know, Korean subway. And all that ShaDoWn has is a couple Stalkers. He's investing in Storm that is not going to help him in this fight. And we know that the amount of Stalkers is way lower than it should be. And all of these Ravagers are doing a number. And 30 probes have gone down in this game. Even an Oracle goes down. The Queens are dead. And the Oracle here is doing its best. And ShaDoWn is trying to hold on. But I think this third base is forfeit. And that the food count is telling the tale here. This third base is going down. These probes should get out of there. ShaDoWn's really good at making more probes. But, I mean, you have 4 Stalkers and an Oracle, my dude. And your front base... No, the wall, it's breached. The Zerg, they're coming, they're overrunning. And Rogue is not asking for permission. No consent was needed to enter your natural base, ShaDoWn. And Rogue takes... Oh, that's the wrong one, baby. Rogue takes this best of 3. 2-1. And moves on in the knockout bracket, putting ShaDoWn into losers early, where I think he actually faces Mixu, like, first round. Poor fellas, keep meeting each other. Just these, like, tier 1.5, some people would say tier 2 professional players. Maybe they're even amateurs, I don't know. So, that's a distinction somebody else can make, okay? But Rogue, just, he's like a shark. He just smelled blood. He's like, oh, I'm getting really good trades on these Stalkers. And these Oracles had to turn on. And there was a little late. And he's like, but I've been super efficient. I've lost 2 drones. Haven't made that many lings early. Have +1 so my lings are more efficient. And then just pulled the trigger, which I've said a lot. And killed ShaDoWn, who fought valiantly, but did get outmatched in the end. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of StarCraft 2 from the open bracket for the ESL 2024 Drew McDallas Open Tournament. Going to be showing some more games, so hope to see you there. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, etc., etc. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.